Turn your living room into a joyful, hands-free playroom with CoComelon Sing and Play with JJ. Your child sings, moves, and learns right alongside JJ and friends, all on the big screen. It's designed thoughtfully to spark speech, rhythm, and coordination through songs and active play. Try an ad-free, safe, and interactive way to make screen time part of their learning and growth. Parents love how easy it is, voice-controlled and frustration-free. Kids love every moment of singing, laughing, and playing along. It's fun for them, and it's feel-good for you. Available now in the Volley app on your smart TV. Just search Volley in your TV's app store and start your free trial of CoComelon Sing and Play with JJ today. That's CoComelon Sing and Play with JJ, available now in the Volley app on your smart TV. Search Volley and start your free trial today.
Volley. Welcome to Homeschooling Outside the Box, the podcast that encourages and equips moms who homeschool an outside-the-box child. Hey there, this is Cindy Renna, and this is episode 3. Last time on the podcast, I mentioned the Sunrise program, and I told you I would tell you a little bit more about it. It is by far the best therapy program that we have found for the boys, and definitely my favorite. So you're going to hear a lot about it on the podcast. If you read the blog over at cindyrenna.com, you've definitely heard me talk about Sunrise there too, or read about me talking about Sunrise. All right, but today I'm going to unpack the question, what exactly is the Sunrise program? If I had to describe the Sunrise program in one word, it would be hope. It encourages you to open every closed door that you have concerning your child and dream. Why not? It challenges every defining remark and negative ceiling put over him. He'll never speak. She'll never show affection. He'll never have real friends. She'll never hold a real job. He'll never be able to live on his own. She'll never say, I love you, never call you mama, never laugh at your jokes. Never, never, never say never. The Sunrise program is a home-based program for children with autism spectrum disorders and other developmental disabilities. It was slowly and carefully developed by parents Barry and Samara Kaufman in the 1970s for their autistic son, Ron, as a response to being told that their only option was to institutionalize him. Ron is now fully recovered from autism and is the current CEO of the Autism Treatment Center of America, where he teaches and trains other parents to do what his parents did for him. My husband and I have both had the pleasure of attending this training. The most important thing Sunrise has done for us is to redefine autism. Most people will tell you that autism is a behavioral disorder, but it's not. If you met one child with autism, you've met one child with autism, because every parent, teacher, and family member knows children with autism behave quite differently. They have very unique strengths and challenges. So what is the common tie among people with autism? It is their struggle with social and relational skills. Sunrise teaches that autism is not a behavioral disorder, but rather a social relational one. You might be thinking, tomato, tomato, does it really matter how we define autism? It absolutely matters, because how we define autism will determine how we treat it. If you believe autism is a behavioral disorder, you may never get to the root of any of the issues. You'll get stuck on the surface, attempting to stamp out behaviors and haphazardly trying to teach social and independent skills. But if you know it's a social relational disorder, you will come at it wanting to get to the core and develop a relationship first and foremost. This relationship will then be the jumping off point to teach more successful social behaviors and independent skills. I believe that we all want what's best for our children. Every parent wants a relationship with their child. But how you go about getting there makes all the difference. All right, let's talk about what the program is. 1, it is a way to intentionally connect with your child. They show us the way in, and then we show them the way out. This is a common saying among Sunrise teachers. At the root of all human interaction and relationship is connectivity. Sunrise helps you find a way to truly connect with your child, and in the end, that connection is what helps show them the way into our world. 2, it's a breath of fresh air. Do you ever get tired of working against your child? Yeah, me too. Many autism therapies don't meet your child where they're at and inadvertently set up power struggles between you and your child. The Sunrise program teaches 2 key components, joining and motivation, that make it unique among autism therapies. Those stimming behaviors your child does, don't work to extinguish them. Join them instead, and they'll end up doing them less. The classic reward principle that most teachers and parents operate off of, first do this terrible thing, then I'll give you this great reward. Throw that out the window and work instead with your child's natural motivation to get them to love doing the terrible thing and think it's wonderful. A lot of things recommended by this program are completely opposite of what you're used to seeing in autism books, as well as what you're used to hearing from therapists and other professionals. Rest assured, this is a very good thing. 3, the Sunrise program is a step outside of your comfort zone. This is not a drop-off therapy. This is a get down on your child's level, get your hands dirty, flip your life upside down for a little while therapy. Because it's parent-led training, you will be required to stretch and grow as a person in order to help your child do the same. But I promise you, it's oh so worth it. 4, it's thorough. With 3 outside-the-box kids, I'm no stranger to evaluations. I have binders full of them, but I promise you this program has the most thorough and practical evaluation that I've ever seen. There are no arbitrary goals. Each goal sets your child up for success, and even when your child moves into the higher goals, the program works to refine social skills beyond what many typical children are capable of. In addition to this, we were able to stop speech therapy because it's rolled right into the program. All right, that's what the program is. Now I want to tell you what the program is not. 1, it is not a quick fix. There is no guarantee that your child will 100% recover from autism, and the Sunrise program makes no such claims. But they might. And that is a much brighter promise than most therapy programs. No matter what progress your child makes, and I promise you he will make progress if you do this therapy, it will take time and energy. 2, it is not an end-all be-all. Autism is a complicated disorder, and there are no easy answers. Just when you think you're on the right track with something will come up to prove that you're not. So beware of any therapies that claim to be the one single solution to the myriad of symptoms and challenges that accompany an autism diagnosis. Biomedical therapy is just one example of a complementary therapy that fits beautifully with the Sunrise program. 3, this is not a new fad. Like I mentioned earlier, this program has been growing and developing since the 1970s. From the beginning, it was created by parents for parents. And believe me, the roots of a program make a difference. 4, it's not easy. This therapy is not for everyone. It requires long-term commitment, and it's not for the faint of heart. There's a reason that drop-off therapies and even biomedical therapy are attractive. In all honesty, it doesn't require much change in you personally to drive your child to a therapist or give them a pill in the morning and buy gluten-free bread. Now, I'm not discounting those therapies. We firmly believe in occupational therapy, SOS feeding therapy, and biomedical therapy. We're still doing biomedical therapy with 2 of our boys and continue to see great results. But what I am saying is this is not one of those therapies. This requires not just sacrifice, but change on your part. You are going to have to work on you for this therapy to work. The proof is in the pudding. About 3.5 years ago, we started running 3 sunrise programs at home for our 3 boys with autism, Asperger's syndrome, and ADHD. Just within the first 2 months, we saw less stimming, more eye contact and communication, way fewer aggressive behaviors, less whining, fewer meltdowns, better self-regulation, and closer relationships. After those 3.5 years of running the programs, here is where we're at. Our son with autism, who began in stage 2-3, there are 5 stages in the developmental model that you work through with your child. He is now in a stage 4-5. He has no trouble with eye contact anymore, and he is a very friendly boy. He has become much more flexible, and he's able to articulate his needs and requests with ease. He has even stretched himself to be more inclusive. He used to have a real big issue with girls being around, and that has been gone. He's become much more tolerant of things that really used to bother him. As for our son with Asperger's syndrome, he has just about completed the program after beginning in stage 3-4. Although we've not had his diagnosis formally reversed, we're pretty confident that if tested again, he would not receive an autism diagnosis. His ATEC score has gone from 51 to 1. If you're not familiar with the ATEC, it is a free test that you can go to online. It's just ATEC is what you're going to Google. I'll put a link for it in the show notes. And you can go and test where your child's at before you begin a therapy. And then after you do a therapy, you test them again just to kind of gauge if the therapy worked or not. So the last year that he attended public school, he actually graduated from special services. And over the past 5 years, we've done speech, occupational therapy, SOS, and biomedical therapy. He no longer needs autism therapy of any kind. Our son with ADHD has completed his program after beginning in a stage 2-3. Although the symptoms of ADHD have not been completely reversed, our relationship has greatly improved, and his mood swings have leveled out quite a bit. He has become much easier to work with, and because we have learned more effective ways to interact with him, we are able to help him be more successful socially. All right, how can you get access to this therapy? Well, the beautiful yet challenging thing about the Sunrise program is how it stayed very mom and pop. There's currently only one training location, which means you have the joy of being trained by the founders and the next generation who work very closely with the founders. The challenge, of course, is that you're not going to get it where you're at right now, unless you happen to live by Sheffield, Massachusetts. So you can get access to this therapy in 2 ways. One, you can buy the book, Autism Breakthrough by Ron K. Kaufman, which I highly suggest doing. And 2, you can attend the Startup Parent Training. I actually recommend doing both. Okay, so here's why. This is why you should buy the book. I actually wrote a full post on Autism Breakthrough on my blog. If you want to go check it out, I will put that link in the notes and you can read the full review, but I'm going to give you some cliff notes here. The book was beautifully written. Kaufman's conversational tone makes you feel like you're sitting across the room from him enjoying a cup of coffee together. He gets it. I mean, he really gets it. If you've ever felt deflated or dejected after reading an autism book, let me assure you, this one will not leave you feeling that way. This book breaks down the entire program, and although it does not replace the week-long parent training, it does teach you how to start in your home today. It's a very heavy read, all meat, no potatoes. This is not an autism book that makes you feel warm and fuzzy and encourages you but leaves you without much application. Each chapter is chock full of well-organized information, wonderful examples, and relevant stories. The chapter introduces a principle or technique and ends with 3 very applicable steps. They're broken down into 1, activity time, which is a practical call to action. Have your pencil ready. The second is online resources. These are exclusive videos to assist you with whatever principle you learned in that chapter. And the third is starting point. This is an extremely practical segment that you can literally set the book down and go apply right then. If you love someone with autism, even if they're not your child, you need to read this book. Bottom line. We've done a lot of autism therapy, and I promise the cost of this book, about $12 on Amazon right now, this is the lowest therapy price you're ever going to pay. All right, now why you should go to the training. The book, as thorough and wonderful as it is, simply cannot replace the week-long focused respite and instruction, the small group training where your individual questions can be answered, the camaraderie of other autism parents you will meet at the training, and the long-term relationships that you'll develop. And no, of course, insurance does not cover it. But there are scholarships available, and many people like us have done fundraisers to help with the cost as well. Let me convince you a little bit further. A week-long getaway without your children? Do I really need to talk you into a peaceful retreat to gorgeous Sheffield, Massachusetts, in a rustic cabin, away from all the pressures and stress of home, with someone else feeding you 3 delicious meals a day? And they even cater to people with food allergies? If that doesn't convince you, I highly suggest you click on the link in the show notes and watch the drone tour video of the campus. And just remember, it's even more breathtaking in person. If you are going to go, I highly suggest you try to go in October so you can be there for the color change. It was absolutely wonderful. The second benefit of going to the training is the small group training. So this is where you go to school and learn 35 hours worth. You get 35 hours worth of training. You can ask questions about your specific situation and get quality answers. Plus, you're going to learn a ton from other people's questions as you can relate them to your own life. Camaraderie is another reason. This can be scarce for outside-the-box families. Do you ever feel like you're in a room full of people and no one understands you? I'm sure you've had that experience. I definitely have. All right, now I want you to imagine that you're in a room full of people and everyone understands you. There is power in numbers, and it is so healing to be surrounded by people from all over the world. In my class of 75, there were 23 countries represented, not to mention all the different states who are going through the same things that you are going through. The other reason is long-term relationships. These are essential in working your program. You truly cannot do this alone. You need your counselor. You need phone consultations and teachers and facilitators. You need other autism parents cheering you on, answering your questions on the private Facebook board, and encouraging you when you win and rallying you when you fail, because you will. And you'll need people to help dust yourself off, get up, and go at it again. All right, so if you are jumping out of your seat right now with excitement, and I don't blame you, you can contact me directly for more information. In the month of August only, I will help you personally get registered for the training and answer any questions that you might have that could be holding you back. You can either email me directly at cindyrenna@cindyrenna.com, or you can message me from the Facebook page. All the links you need are going to be listed underneath the link to this podcast on my blog. You can click on, I'm going to put probably about 10 or so links up and dig a little deeper into the Sunrise program. Now here's the bottom line. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different result. If you are not where you are at, or if you're not where you want to be on your autism journey with your child, why not take a look at something new and give it a try? Well, that's all for today. Thank you for listening to Homeschooling Outside the Box, and I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.